What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you're having a fantastic day today, and today I have a very exciting model review for y'all. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Phoenix models 1-400 scale Malaysia Airlines Airbus A330-200 in their current livery. I really hope each and every one of you are excited for today's video. This is a really cool model, and I'm super excited to dive into this, but first and foremost, we need to take a look at this box here and kind of dive into why I chose to get this model. So, I got this model during the DFW Airline Collectibles Show in 2024. I got this model for $20 or $16. I'm forgetting the exact price off the top of my head, but nevertheless, that was one of the major reasons. But also, I love diversifying my international fleet with regards to the aircraft types, and I have a bunch of 777s and A350s. So anytime I can find an opportunity to get like an A330neo or just a normal A330 or an A340, an aircraft like that that's significantly different relative to those others, I definitely have to take that opportunity, and that's exactly what we have here. So this will be an awesome asset for Great Plains. I look super forward to utilizing it there. But nevertheless, let's go ahead and take a look. And I also have never showed a Phoenix A330 here on my channel to my knowledge. I have showed a Neo, but I don't believe I have a 330. So this is going to be awesome, especially being the 200 variant, which these are pretty tough to come by. And I'm super excited to have this here in the fleet today. So without any further delay, let's go ahead and take a look, everybody. So here's the box. This is your typical Phoenix design. In this particular case, they're representing the livery on the background of this box. So you have the line here, and then you get the Malaysia logo, followed by the red and a little bit more navy right there. You got Airbus A330-200, the CGI, Malaysia Airlines. The registration is 9 Mike Tango uniform, 1-400 scale. And again, it's a pretty standard box, normal size for their Airbus A330 aircraft. And overall, it looks really good. So we'd love to see that. In the back of the box, just straight up red. Not too much going on there. A little bit of a marker or equivalent there, but that's not a huge deal. So anyway, that all looks really good. So let's go ahead and lower the tripod here. And let's go ahead and bring in the Malaysia A330. And I'm going to go ahead and move the table back so we don't have those lines on the actual model when we're doing this review. Okay, so here it is, everybody, the Malaysia A330-200 by Phoenix. Again, I think they did a really great job on this model, and I was certainly super happy with it. I don't have a Malaysia Airlines aircraft in my fleet yet, so I thought this was a great opportunity to change that. And again, being the A330-200, these are extremely tough to come by. This might be my first one that's not a US carrier. I have the Delta one, but honestly, I think that's my only one. I can't think of another one. I'm looking over there at my international table, and I know I have the Lufthansa 333 and a couple of 340s back there and a couple of 330 Neos, but I don't think I have a 330-200. So again, this is going to be a really great asset to utilize here, and I'm looking super forward to what's to come with this particular aircraft. So let's go ahead, change the camera angle, zoom her on in, and go ahead and see what this Malaysia A330 has to offer for all of us here in the 1-400 scale. So you have the cockpit windows up here on the front and nose cone, which this is one of the best efforts by Phoenix, in my opinion. This is a really solid nose, so we love to see that. Then you got the nose landing gear and nose landing gear door. I know I mention this every time, but one of the most distinctive characteristics here about Phoenix is their silver struts and rims on the tires rather. I don't know why it's so distinctive like this, but it certainly is. So obviously worth noting there. So that looks really solid. Got some pitot tubes, and you got the L1 door right here. And of course, you're going to find the lever, a little window, and some other various markings there that you can find on these aircraft doors. Here's the One World logo. Of course, Malaysia Airlines are part of the One World Alliance. And then here you got all these first windows. I believe they have some sort of first class or premium business class up here. So that's what you're going to find. You do have the Malaysia flag right here, which is rather similar to the US from a glance. And then of course you have the Malaysia Airlines titles, pretty unique here, as the Malaysia font is also cool. It's also italicized, and then Malaysia is bolded while Airlines is not. So certainly some pretty interesting changes relative to what you normally see on these airline liveries. So they're certainly really cool to get to note all that right here. As we continue through, we do have the antennas. Another unique characteristic of these Phoenix aircraft is they have they're not, I don't think stubby's the right word, but they're more proportionally accurate, so that's cool. And you also have these really I got to think of the word here to describe this, subtle. I like subtle SATCOM boxes, or what exactly these are. So you see one of those is featured here. Again, the Malaysia Airlines billboard titles, and then you got the L2 door, a couple more warnings right there, and then here begins the blue cheat line, so you can see that starting to come up right there. Then you have some sort of premium economy here, most likely. Then it takes you on to economy, where this blue line probably starts around here, I would think. And then we go into the red cheat line, which looks really good. Now, I apologize in advance if I get these engines wrong. I think these are Pratt's. They might be Trent's though. I'm not exactly sure, or maybe even GE engines. They're one of those three, I think. I'm not great when I've never seen what they are before on a model, so I apologize about that. But nevertheless, there they are. They might be GEs. They look pretty big. But nevertheless, you can see the leading edge of the wing right there, which has some good detail, including a light even right there, which looks quite nice. Then you have the engine there, which looks really nice. One of the coolest characteristics about this model, compared to other A330s that I have, is there's not much wing flex at all. It's proportionally really accurate, which is huge. I really am glad to add that to my collection with this model. There's not a problem with the other ones, but some of the Gemini ones do have significant wing flex, but it is really cool to see kind of them flat line right there. You'd see where it bends down like it's supposed to in real life. When it's in the ground mode, that's really great. So great detail. The pylon on the engine looks really good. And again, here's that leading edge of the wing and the full wing, which looks really great there. Here's the winglets, which do have the Malaysia logo on the inside and the outside, so that is certainly really nice to get to see right there, so we absolutely love that. Here, there's the main landing gear again. You can really see here when we're talking about the strut piece and how metallic it is, but it certainly looks really cool. The gear also do pivots, so we certainly love to see that as well. And there's the speed brakes along with the other additional details. So yeah, that red line runs back, and then we have an L3 door, which is much more narrow on the 330-200, so that's certainly really great to see that right there. And then you have two antennas on the top with a Wi-Fi box as well, along with two or three rather on the bottom. But one of the coolest features of this Phoenix mold is that it features two like it's supposed to in real life. So Phoenix certainly has it down with regards to these aerials. It's just so cool to see the subtle Wi-Fi boxes along with these antennas. So this is certainly one of the biggest characteristics of these aircraft, is how proportionally accurate they are in the aerial department. So Phoenix really has it down here, and I certainly give them massive props. The gear all look good. You know, they're just a little bit different relative to other manufacturers, but they've done a really good job with all this, and certainly a great opportunity anytime I can find a Phoenix model to buy to get that done. So anyway, Wi-Fi box here looks really good once again, and then we have all the rest of the economy, which looks really great. The L4 door is also really nice, and then we have the registration of 9 Mike Tango uniform. I also want to mention that the printing is really crisp and very well done, so good job here by Phoenix for getting to represent all that. And then lastly, you have the Malaysia tail, so you have this really cool design with the red on top and the navy blue on the bottom. You have the horizontal stabilizers, the APU, and make sure I'm not missing any additional details down here, but it looks to be that we covered all of that there. So that looks really solid, and let's go ahead and take a look at the right side, which is relatively similar relative to the left. However, you can find the first cargo door right there, the second one back here, and also the baggage door there too. And here's a better look at some of those antenna pieces, and you can really see the gear. The actual root piece is a little thick for it, but luckily if you're not really paying attention or just looking at it kind of like that, you're not going to see it as easily. But if you're looking down here, you can definitely see that it's just a little big. I'm sure that probably saves on production costs to kind of keep it filled in like that, so I'm sure it's why it's the way it is. But again, it is noticeable. So if I had to pick the downside, that would be it. But again, for landing gear that you're not even going to see if you have it at some angles, that's certainly a much better attribute to have than some significant wing flex. And again, you can see a little bit here, but it's not you know, it's how it's supposed to be. You know, there's supposed to be a little bit, but not, you know, a crazy amount. So overall, that all looks really great. Okay, top of the aircraft looks really good too. You see all the details that we mentioned. You can also notice on those aerials, kind of tough to tell through the camera, but you can probably see kind of where it slopes in a little bit. I think that's for the insert of the antenna to make sure that they don't fall off, which I've never had any of these fall off, so that's why I mentioned that. So that's really cool to note. Bottom of the aircraft also looks really good. You can see all those antennas. You do have a stand hole in these Phoenix models, which is really cool. The beacon, along with the nose landing gear, and then you got the registration up there, along with all the other various details, and all this looks really great. So yeah, this is a really great model by Phoenix. I absolutely would recommend it if you're looking for some diversity in your international fleet. Again, I love expanding on the aircraft types, so that was definitely a huge motivator here. And I don't have a Phoenix 330 yet. I don't think I even have a 300, so this would be my first overall 330 that's not a Neo. So definitely really great to get it for those reasons, and just conveniently worked out there at that DFW Airline Collectibles show. So overall, this is a really great snag for the collection. I'm very delighted to have this now. I'm really looking forward to what's to come with it in the future. And it's going to be a huge asset going forward, so I'm excited to see how I can utilize it, and I hope each and every one of you are looking forward to how that's going to go as well. But nevertheless, that'll do it for today's video, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. My name is Redriveraviation. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe, trust the process. Do you love and love what you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you all so much for watching. and I'll see you all soon as Redriveraviation is signing off.